Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the official launch of my first Nest Egg, a financial literacy program for primary schools. I am your chairperson, Mrs. Shanna Zellini, and we will begin with the national anthem. Could you all please stand? Thank you. We will now have the national song by members of the Aurelia Kelly Primary School. Please welcome them as they come.
God bless Anguilla, nurture and keeper, noble and beauteous she stands, amidst the sea. O land of the happy, a heaven will make thee. All eyes and love we give unto thee. With heart and soul we'll build a nation proud, strong and free. We love her, hold her, dear to our hearts for eternity. Let truth and right our banner be. We'll march ever on. Let truth and right our banner be. We'll march ever on. Mighty will make her. Long may she prosper. God grant her leaders wisdom and grace. May glory and honor ever attend her. Firm shall she stand throughout every age. With heart and soul we'll build a nation proud, strong and free. We love her, hold her, dear to our hearts for eternity. Let truth and right our banner be. We'll march ever on. Let truth and right our banner be. We'll march ever on.
We will now have the prayer by Mr. Winston Duncan, Curriculum Officer responsible for science.
Let us pray. Almighty God, Father of all mercies, we, your unworthy servants, give you most humble and hearty thanks for all your goodness and loving kindness to us and all people. We bless you for your creation, preservation, and all the blessings of this life, but above all, for your immeasurable love in the redemption of the world by our Lord Jesus Christ, for the means of grace and for the hope of glory. And give us, we pray, such a sense of all your mercies that our hearts may be unfeignedly thankful, and we show forth your praise not only with our lips, but in our lives, by giving up of ourselves to your service, and by walking before you in holiness and righteousness all our days, through Jesus Christ our Lord, to whom, with you and the Holy Spirit, be all honor and glory forever and ever. Amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this program by Liberty Credit Union. May we see the wisdom behind it so that our children can save for their future and bless Anguilla. This we ask in your Son's name. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Duncan. Our Chief Education Officer, Mr. Brent Romney, will now come with the welcome.
His Excellency Acting Governor, Mr. Perrin Bradley, the Honorable Minister of Social Development and Education, Ms. Deanne Kentish Rogers, Permanent Secretary, Education, Dr. Bonnie Richardson Lake, Director of the Department of Youth and Culture, Ms. Avon Carty, and other heads of department, Education Officer Assessment, Testing, and Examinations, Ms. Devine Gishard. Education Officer Human Resource Management, Mrs. Rita Celestine Carty. Education Officer Student Support Services, Mrs. Tracelyn Hamilton. All curriculum officers present, principals from the 6 primary schools, acting principal of the Albina Lake Arch Comprehensive School, and deputy principals from that school. Our strategic partners for the Financial Literacy Program, Managing Director, Liberty Credit Union, Mrs. Vanessa Connor and her staff. Co-founders of My First Nest Egg, Mrs. Nicole Hood, Mrs. Annie Scone, I hope I pronounced that correctly, and staff. Country Manager, our corporate partners, Country Manager from the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, Mrs. Charmaine Lynch Harrigan. Representative from the Anguilla Chamber of Commerce, Mrs. Shalicia Brooks Johnson. Representatives from the Anguilla Youth Business Foundation, Coordinator, Mrs. Winika Romney. Council Member, Ms. Sharma Hodge. Teachers, students, members of the various parent teachers associations, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to offer apologies on behalf of two senior staff members at the Department of Education, Education Officer Pre-Primary and Primary, Mrs. Susan Smith, who's currently on leave, and she was instrumental in getting us to this point. We're grateful for her efforts. And Education Officer Curriculum Development, Ms. Sandra Foy, who's also currently on leave. I also want to thank His Excellency the Governor for being with us, but we acknowledge that he also needs to leave shortly for another event. So we do appreciate you taking the time nonetheless to be with us. A special welcome to our esteemed government officials who are joining us. Your presence underscores the importance of this initiative and your commitment to the future of our young people. We also extend a warm welcome to all those who have joined us in person and those joining us virtually. Your participation in this event highlights the growing interest and support for financial literacy in our community. It is with great pleasure and anticipation that we gather here today to officially launch our financial literacy program. This initiative marks a significant step forward in our commitment to equipping our students with the knowledge and skills they need to succeed in the 21st century. Financial literacy is not just about numbers and budgets. It is about empowering individuals to make informed decisions about their money. By introducing these concepts at an early age, we are laying the foundation for a future generation of financially responsible citizens. This program will empower our students to understand basic financial concepts such as saving, spending, and investing, develop positive money habits like budgeting and avoiding debt, to make informed financial decisions, and hopefully this will happen throughout their lives. We would like to express our sincere gratitude to the Honorable Minister of Education, Ms. Deanne Kentish-Rogers, for her leadership and unwavering support of this financial literacy program. Her commitment to providing our students with the tools to succeed has been instrumental in making this initiative a reality. We are incredibly grateful also to Mrs. Vanessa Connor, the Managing Director of Liberty Credit Union, and her team for their generous sponsorship of this program. Your commitment to the financial well-being of our community is truly inspiring. We also would like to extend our sincere thanks to Mrs. Nicole Hood and the team from My First Nest Egg platform. Your dedication and to financial education and recent work sensitizing and training instructional leaders here in Anguilla and teachers on how to utilize the My Nest Egg platform has been invaluable. As we embark on this exciting journey, we hope to pilot this program in the coming weeks and then fully roll it out across the primary sector in Term 2. We believe that by fostering financial literacy in our young learners, we are investing in their future success. Thank you all for joining us here today. Let us work together to create a brighter financial future for our students and, by extension, our nation. God bless.
Thank you, Mr. Romney. Please welcome the Honorable Minister of Education, Ms. Deanne Kentish-Rogers, for some brief remarks.
I thought I was the same height as Shanna, but I guess not. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I am going to be as brief as possible this afternoon. I want to start off by directing my thanks and appreciation first and foremost to the Liberty Cooperative Credit Union. Very often when we talk about the type of partners we want in education, we get persons who come in and they want to do short-term projects, or they'd like to partner on a specific area. In this particular program, the Liberty Credit Union really reached out to us. And as we began discussing and started to say that we have a lot of ideas and plans for incorporating financial literacy education within our systems, our education system, they said that they would be the type of partner to fund everything from root to tip. And that's not often the case when it comes to partnerships. So I do want to give them a very special round of applause in relation to the My First Nest Egg program. The Ministry of Education has been trying for a very, very long time to incorporate financial literacy education within our systems. And if you know anything about education, you'll know that it is not easy to incorporate new systems. It takes time. We have to make sure that our teachers are all on board, make sure that they're ready and equipped to roll out new curriculum to our students. And with this partnership, the founders of My First Nest Egg and Liberty Cooperative Credit Union have offered their services not only to provide the platform to the Department of Education, but also to do the training, to do the upskilling, and the rollout for our students across the primary sector. Now, this program, although we're starting at the youngest ages group, our youngest age group, which is our primary schoolers, is also intended to roll out to our high schoolers. We understand, first and foremost, that our children's habits with financial literacy are actually built and developed in the home. Most persons don't actually have patterns of financial behavior that is developed in school or in college. Most persons' financial habits and behaviors are developed by seeing what their parents or their loved ones do. And very often that means that they don't have the opportunity to fashion healthy financial behaviors. So this program is intended as an early intervention to equip young students with the ability to understand what is saving, what is managing your expenditure, and also what is investing, so that we're equipping the next generation of young persons with the skills not only to survive, to balance budgets, but also to invest and to thrive. We already have students across our high school sector who are investing. And if you know or you follow them, they're doing day trading. Some of them are doing more long-term trading. But these programs are aimed to expose not just a few students who have the idea to invest, but to expose our entire cohort of students in the system to the possibilities and the opportunities from financial literacy education. So this afternoon's ceremony is only meant to introduce the financial literacy program to you through our partners and with our partners, but it is intended to be a long-term commitment between us and Liberty Credit Union to ensure that our students are ready and equipped to answer the problems of the 21st century. So with that said, I'm trying to keep to the brief. I would like to thank all of our partners, the Department of Education, our curriculum officers who will have the task of ensuring that the rollout goes as smoothly as possible, and all of our users, our end users, so our students here who sang so beautifully earlier, and our parents for supporting this platform. It's very vital that our parents are actively involved in this financial literacy program. So thank you very much, and I hope that you enjoy, I believe we're having a demo. I hope that you enjoy the demo to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. We'll now have brief remarks by Mrs. Vanessa Connor, the Managing Director at Liberty Credit Union, followed by remarks from the co-founders of My First Nest Egg.
Okay, if you permit me, Madam Chair Lady, our founders of My First Nest Egg, they do have another commitment. So if you don't mind, I would like to allow Annie, who is one of the founders, to just do a brief remarks, and then I will come back in if that is permissible.
That's fine, that's okay.
Please go ahead, Annie.
Thank you so much. And thank you everyone who is gathered here today. We are just, I can't tell you how excited My First Nest Egg is to be rolling out with your teachers and your students. We admire so much your commitment to financial education. We are so thankful to the Credit Union for bringing us to this beautiful place. And Nicole and I founded this company because we have a passion for giving every single child a secure financial future, and finding partners like all of you and Liberty Credit Union who are on that path with us makes it so that we really feel that the future of a secure financial education for everyone is possible. So I am going to leave you in the capable hands of Chastity. She manages all of our partner agreements. She manages all of our educational materials, and she knows our platform inside and out. One thing I want to very much stress is that My First Nest Egg is growing and evolving with teachers and students. As you use this platform, if you see something that you really like and would like us to expand on it, let us know. If you see something that you would like us to do, or if there's something in your classroom you're working on and you think materials would be helpful, let us know. Our goal is to support you all. You are on the front lines. You are doing the work. We are here to support you, and however we can support you is what we want to do. So please just keep us posted. Let us know what we can do. And with that, I will say goodbye. Thank you so much for having us, and leave you in Chastity's hands.
Thank you, Annie. Vanessa, should I turn it back to you for some brief remarks before I dive into the presentation?
Yes, indeed. Thank you. A pleasant good afternoon, and permit me to adopt the protocol that has been established by the Chief Education Officer, Mr. Brent Romney, who we've had the privilege of working with over the past couple weeks and months, together with the Minister of Education and the Permanent Secretary, and then supported by various team members, including Susan Smith. My prayers go out to her, and Carla and the rest of the team. I am happy to note that, as has been indicated, there are several esteemed government officials in attendance, together with all of the educators. I won't repeat all of the names, and thanks to the Deputy Governor for gracing us with his presence as well. I do want to especially say thank you to the Minister of Education. When I did reach out to advise that we had an opportunity where we were willing to provide full sponsorship in collaboration with the My First Nest Egg team, I would say that she embraced it wholesomely, noting that this was a passion of hers. Now, this aligns with our passion and what we want to do in terms of our commitment to the community. Several persons may not be aware of the role that credit unions play across the world. Since 1948, International Credit Union Day was celebrated in, well, all of the countries that credit unions are present. And for us in Anguilla, we were fortunate, and I count it a privilege to have been able to commence operations in Anguilla first in 2018. We were actually established in 2017, but because of Hurricane Irma and the challenges that she brought us, then we were deferred for a little bit. And I just want to say the journey has been tremendously rewarding. This has been a passion of mine, so it just kind of melded so well with Deanne's passion, and permit me to use your first name in that instance, Honorable Minister, in terms of we just hit off when I started to express what we had come across in terms of the wealth of information in the financial app that has been provided by My First Nest Egg, and the indication that our initial interaction with My First Nest Egg was actually to have a program within Liberty for what we called empowering generations. We do have several accounts that are specific to the youth. And one of the 7 principles of the cooperative societies, which Liberty is a credit union that's part of cooperative societies, the 5th principle is education, training, and information. So we've been embarking on a plan to ensure that every member is aware of the importance of financial empowerment, financial literacy. So we wanted to see how we could get this to the very young. And we would have, when I reached out to my first nest egg, it was basically for us to launch this as a program within Liberty. But after having gone through a couple of the discussions with them and understanding their mission and how closely it aligned with Liberties as a grassroots movement, that we felt as though it needed to be a much further impact than just within Liberty's membership. And of course, we have been growing and we have over 4,000 in membership now, but we wanted this to be available to the entire community of Anguilla. And by making this available to the teachers and students, this is actually going to reach the entire community. This is not necessarily based on promoting Liberty as an entity. It is based on ensuring that we have financial literacy across our community. Now, while Liberty has come on stream very recently, many of the teachers are familiar with me in terms of being an advocate of financial empowerment through various sessions that I've done, whether it was going into the primary schools, and Valley School was one of those schools that would have had much more of my presence, particularly given that I was working with the ECCB's Financial Information Month in my previous role as a manager at Caribbean Commercial Bank and then NCBA. So many persons would be aware of Financial Information Month being celebrated in October, and we had hoped to have been able to roll it out at that time. If that had come through, then the ECCB agency representative is in the room, as I understand it, and that would have been incorporated in the activities at that point in time. We didn't get through with that, but we are happy that we are here in the present now. This digital financial education platform that is about to be showcased is going to cater to students from the age of 3 to 13. And what we are looking at is empowering all of our youth to realize their dreams and create new opportunities. So as Chastity goes through and shows the demo, we will see a lot about what we have to offer in terms of ensuring that we can remediate financial illiteracy and using this in a format that is very sound in terms of the curriculum structure, providing all of the educators tools that really empowers them to deliver rather than having to be spending that time creating the content. They are already provided the content that they can then deliver in a way that engages the students and keeps it fun and age appropriate. So where we see this going, the Honorable Minister would have mentioned that this isn't something that we are looking at as a short-term win. This is a long-term commitment where we are actually going to provide our support to the Ministry of Education and the Department of Education, all of the curriculum officers throughout. And now we are rolling it out at the primary school level, but we intend to also go below to the preschools and then above to the first two age ranges as it pertains to the high school component, Campus B, where we can start to reach them. So I would have mentioned that it can be formatted for as young as age 3 up to 13. That is where the program is now, and Chastity will explain a little bit more about that. But we just wanted to let all of the educators know that we understand that teachers play an important role in the fabric of our society. And we want to arm our educators with the tools that will help to elevate students and make sure that their family lives is a privilege. For us, from the standpoint of credit unions in this region, and we are young in the region, but we are leading in a lot of ways in terms of innovation and how we are utilizing those 7 principles of the credit union spirit to be more impactful. So we want to make sure that individuals understand that A credit union is not only a place where you transact and do business, but it's a place where you receive personalized and customized care. And we want to extend that same offer to our educators as is already available to our members as it pertains to this initiative. Even after this meeting is through, you will find that all of the teachers who register will have direct assistance and support, whether it is from Chastity and her team, or if it is that you need support from Liberty itself. The Chief Education Officer has advised us that there are sufficient technical resources in the various schools to ensure that this rollout is a success, whether it is the smart boards and access to printing, etc. So if a teacher needed to have access to printed material, say for example, not all of the students in the class may have access to apps, etc., and they wanted to have printed materials, we would provide that support if there was a day that you needed to access printed materials and your printers at the school were down, for example. We are dedicated to assisting this long term. We are also dedicated to the parents. We know that sometimes teachers extend a lot of effort to communicating something, teaching a new skill, etc. And sometimes they feel as though that is not reinforced at home to support what you're doing in the classroom. So this particular tool is not only going to assist the teachers in the classroom, we are also providing you support in terms of making this available to parents. So understand the extent to which we've gone all in on this, and we are confident that this will actually help parents to turn from being in a place of hesitancy to discuss money with their children because they feel uninformed themselves, because that is what often happens. Sometimes is that as educators are in different roles, and parents for sure, they may feel as though they are not well equipped to discuss these types of scenarios, etc. So we in turn will be urging parents, we'll provide supporting materials for all of the educators, whether it is flyers, etc., to give the students so that the parents will know how to log on to the app, how to use it. And again, Chastity will speak a little bit about that, so I won't go into detail. I'll be on by for the Q&A after. We basically want to ensure that everyone is coming along with our members on this journey of financial education, starting with money management and wealth building. When we increase our knowledge, then we are able to confidently engage in conversations, children and the children with adults. And pretty soon, we are going to have a new generation of entrepreneurs and wealth creators that is going to be important for us in terms of community. So at this point in time, I am going to turn back over to you, Madam Chair, if you will want to step up, or if you want us to go straight into the presentation, please just give us an indication. Thank you. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you, Vanessa. We can now have Chastity go straight into the demo.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you to the Department of Education. And of course, to the Minister, thank you so much for having us. I apologize that Nicole and Annie had to jump off. I know they were really looking forward to it, but I'm glad that you got to meet Annie for just a few minutes. I will go ahead and share my presentation. What this will look like, I'll walk you through a presentation of who we are, the resources we have to support and provide to your educators, and then I'll dive right into the resources, walk you through them, and at the end, I'll be available for any questions or comments you might have. So I will share my screen. Can everybody view the screen? I think that was a yes. All right, we'll dive right in. My first nest egg. Our mission is clear. We are here to enhance financial literacy for ages 3 and beyond. Financial literacy is an essential life skill, as many have mentioned before this presentation, and we believe it's never too early to start building a strong foundation for a future of financial success, not only for your children, but for parents, educators, and community. We have found that in our journey of financial education, that this is not simply meant for children. As Vanessa had mentioned, this really empowers the whole community in taking that next level. We know that educators play a very critical role in shaping young minds, which is why we are committed to providing tools that not only simplify financial education, but empowers you educators to be able to seamlessly integrate it within your classrooms, and truly meant to be designed turnkey solutions that are easy to implement, highly effective, and most importantly, age appropriate. So who we are. My First Nest Egg is a digital platform that makes learning about money fun and accessible for kids. We offer 2 key solutions. Now, I know this call is designed for educators. However, I think it's important to highlight, as some have before me, that this is not just to be used at school. This is truly an at-home and at-school and community approach. So we do offer our family app. And what it does is it gamifies financial habits at home, while the teacher platform integrates financial literacy into the classroom with customizable tools and resources that I'll soon show you. So together, both of the platforms, the family platform and the school platform, ensure that children learn essential money management skills both at home and in school. So diving into both of the teacher solutions, we'll hold off on the family component, as it seems we will launch with the educational component first. We have 2 powerful educator solutions. The first one is our online platform. This platform seamlessly integrates financial education into your classroom routines. It provides customizable tools and helps you build a classroom economy where you can track students' progress and engage students with interactive and gamified lessons. The second resource, if you do not have the technology or the smart boards in your room, the second resource is a dedicated teacher resource page. It's a centralized hub where you can access everything. You can access your lesson plans, printables, and a variety of teaching tools. Now, both the online platform and the dedicated teacher resource page empowers educators by providing all the necessary resources to deliver comprehensive and engaging financial education experiences. They align with educational standards, and we have tools that ensure consistency and quality throughout both of the programs. Now, I'd like to invite you to a video that highlights our key features of the online platform first. So follow me as I take you away from the presentation briefly to view the video. And please let me know if you cannot hear it.
Welcome to My First Nest Egg, free financial education for elementary and middle school classrooms. Studies show that money habits develop before kids are in high school. And now you can positively shape your students' financial future in less than 2 minutes a day. Daily financial lessons are quick, fun, and age-appropriate, based on standards set by Jumpstart and the Center for Economic Education, and aligned with both Common Core and SEL guidelines. Printable worksheets and teacher guides are included. With our innovative classroom economy, your class can earn money, set savings goals, accrue compound interest, and even learn how to build a positive credit score. Patent-pending earning puzzles let students earn rewards piece by piece, reinforcing positive behavior and delayed gratification. My First Nest Egg was developed by moms Nicole and Annie, with the help of educators and child psychologists. Join today and help educate.
So the video highlights our online portion, and now we'll dive into our classroom resources. The classroom resource, the centralized page, has 2-minute per day lessons, extension worksheets, games, videos, and calculators. The best way to demonstrate the page is to take you directly to there. So I'll invite you to the dedicated teacher page. Hopefully everybody can view this page with me. This platform was designed with educators in mind. We've had extensive feedback from child psychologists, hundreds of teachers about what they need to implement financial literacy into their classrooms. And what we found is that we understand that for the primary levels, they face challenges because there's not enough time to teach financial literacy because it's not always a core subject. So on this page, we have designed it in efforts to make financial literacy feasible for both students and educators. For the sake of time, I'll take us through the page and highlight some of our key features. Once you're on this dedicated teacher page, which is password protected, so after you sign up, it's a form, it takes 30 seconds, you'll receive a password that gives you full access to all of these resources. At the center of the page, you'll find an implementation guide. This is critical as we provide practical strategies for integrating financial literacy into your daily activities. Through this implementation guide, you can fit it to what your classroom needs. We have 2-minute per day lessons. If you are seeking longer sessions, we provide entry and exit tickets that are news in the money in the news articles. They're written for children. And it's to answer the question that we hear so often. Kids say, how does this relate to the real world? Why do we need to learn this? And through these child-led articles, they can start to understand the world around them and start to make sense of these money concepts. With the implementation guide, it does highlight the most common way that educators use our platform. And I'll take you down to our curriculum. Our curriculum is broken into 3 different sections, and they are based on grade levels in the primary grades. So our youngest primary grade level is Hatching Success, kindergarten through 3rd grade. All of these are scaffolded lessons, and they're just 2-minute per day. These lessons are quick and easy, and I'll quickly pull one up so you can see it. They start with simple and fun, engaging questions that have fun answers with them. So this is meant for someone in kindergarten to 3rd grade. The simple question is, what is money? And we have funny answers like an imaginary friend to spark curiosity and really to start building the trust of the child and breaking down any taboos or any negative connotations they might have with money. We have found that in our experience, money is a very taboo topic. It's not discussed at home. It's often not discussed at school or out in the community, and children might have barriers to it. So we break down fun money concepts in 2 minutes per day with relatable, with questions that are relatable and funny. Now, the best part about these 2-minute per day questions is that they're packaged in groups of 5. And I'll take you through, meant to be done every single day as scaffolded learnings. So knowing that teachers lack the time to create content, to establish a curriculum, this is pre-packaged and ready for the student to use and for the educator to use. I'll try to zoom in on this so you can see it a little bit better, but what it does is it gives the teacher a quick guide and outlines their entire week course. It provides the lesson, the objectives that are met, the question along with the answers, and the prompts. The prompts are something that has been developed over time with teacher feedback because children, they lack having money conversations. So these prompts are designed for ways to integrate all of those conversations to be able to empower children to have open discussions and to lead those discussions without teachers having to create a fun prompt or a money fact. Now I'll take you back to our teacher resource page. Can you view the page? I believe so. So our next group for the primary level is grades 3rd grade through 6th grade. We call this Soaring Ideas. All of these are meant to build on each other. So you'll find quite quickly that going through middle of the 2nd level, you're already talking about, you go from what is money to halfway through our middle curriculum, you'll be discussing supply, demand, and it's meant to increase in intensity. There's the activity. This is the student-led page. And then the following page is the teacher or instructor guide that will walk them through the question, provide a prompt, and some discussion points. As Annie mentioned, we are always looking to enhance our lesson plans. If you scroll down, sorry, my computer is a little slow. If you go past our curriculum and scroll down to the extension sheets, they're absolutely wonderful. They can be used standalone or to accompany an already standing curriculum. They touch on concepts such as budget, writing a check, which I understand is a lost art, although still very important and necessary in our world. These worksheets, we love getting requests from teachers, and we build them out and send them back to the teacher so that they can be used in either the brief financial lesson of the day or in math. This is used in math, the check writing as long form written instruction, and can accompany several other subjects as well. I'll bring you back to the teacher page and highlight our additional resources. So in addition to our 2-minute per day curriculum, our extension worksheets, we also have additional resources. These resources are fun games that can be used over and over that are also dedicated to grade level. We have games that teach kids about false advertisement, and it's done throughout a game of charades, games that are very familiar to children. We also have seasonable printables. They're updated monthly, and we will be working with Liberty to make sure that our monthly holiday activities also reflect the culture and the community. I want to quickly take you through a fun adventure map that I recommend that teachers would start to integrate into their coursework. This money map highlights different functions of money topics. What happens is sorry, one moment here. There's a teacher guide that instructs the classroom on taking a money adventure. This is completely prepackaged. The teacher doesn't have to come up with anything, and they walk the children through the map by explaining what happens. The boat crashes, they've been shipwrecked on the Isle of Needs versus Wants, and then they dive into the lesson. Most teachers focus on one lesson a day and guide them through this fun money map where children get shipwrecked on the Isles of Needs versus Wants, end up on Budget Beach, work their way through the island of Credit Score Cove, Investment Oasis, and then eventually land at Nest Egg Peaks, where they have mastered basic understandings of financial popular money topics. We add to this every month. We have a generosity calendar. We're also working on the December Elf on a Budget to teach children that you don't need a lot of money to buy gifts for your loved ones, that you can truly focus on DIY or being creative like an elf would. So we enjoy uploading those every month and always take feedback. And finally, the entry task and exit tickets that I had mentioned in the implementation process. If you're looking to utilize this beyond the common way of 2 minutes per day, this is where you would find the extended learning. So you would use for about 10, 20 minutes, and there are articles to walk you through this lesson. Also on this page, you can find many other resources, including the online platform, the video that you saw, entrepreneurship lessons. We firmly believe that children should have age-appropriate flyers, business cards, ways in getting out in the community and learning how to apply for a job before they first experience that. So we have an entrepreneurship section that highlights age-appropriate jobs such as dog walking, landscape, things where you could take to your neighbors and learn how to look them in the eye, shake their hand them a flyer that has pre-built out templates for you to fill out, and to feel secure about being out in the workforce and learning those steps before being age appropriate, 16, 17, and getting real jobs. It's important to experience that when the stakes are lower. So we have a great entrepreneurship section that highlights that. Videos, articles, everything that a teacher could need to truly implement practical strategies for financial literacy into their classroom. I'd like to take us back to the presentation. And I apologize, I lost my voice earlier this week, so if you don't mind, I'm going to take a sip. Thank you. So with both of these resources, we have made it as simple as possible for you to get started with our turnkey solutions. Everything you need is accessible by one hub, which is the link that you see in front of you. If you visit our dedicated teacher page, you'll have access to hundreds of lesson plans, 500 printables, our online platform, and other resources. And I thank you for your time. I look forward to supporting you. I realize that this was a shorter presentation, but we would like to offer our services. We can go school by school or however is best in implementing this and making sure that all educators that would like to use the platform have a complete understanding of it. And I would love to get you onboarded if you are not comfortable doing it or if you need assistance. And thank you. Thank you to Liberty for your commitment to advancing financial literacy, not only in schools, but truly to liberate your whole community. This empowers everybody. And together we're making long-lasting memories by equipping families and educators with the resources that they need to build lifelong money habits. It will create brighter futures and raise everybody together. And as a reminder, when you do log on, be sure to mention Liberty to access the free resources that are provided. I can send a copy of this presentation to you once we conclude the meeting. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I will make sure that you have my information and I can get you onboarded. And with that, I believe I'll turn it back over to the speaker.
Thank you so much, Chastity, for a very informative and engaging demo. We will now open the floor to Mr. Romney and Mrs. Deanne Kentish-Rogers, the Honorable Minister of Education, for question and answer. Please.
Good afternoon. Just for those who don't know, I am Mrs. Charmaine Lynch Harrigan, the country manager for the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. And on behalf of myself personally and the bank, I am so pleased and so happy. I'm jumping around inside saying, yay, but of course I can't do that outside. I am so pleased. Let me commend the team. Minister, I know we met some years back, and as Vanessa said, it is a passion of yours. And I know Vanessa over the years, and it is a passion of hers. So the two of you all coming together, perfection, to really deliver on this. So I am very pleased, I am very excited that this is coming to Anguilla, the schools, and the wider community, the opportunity for the wider community. So I'm excited to hear more about it and to learn. And just a question, what is the time frame for it hitting the schools? You said you're going to start with the primary schools first. So if you can just share a little bit more on that, please. But congratulations, well done.
All right, good afternoon again. Let me take that one since it's more operational question, but we do appreciate the comment. We're starting with a pilot across the island, across all schools, between now and the end of term 1. Our hope is to roll out the entire program in term 2. Okay, but we want to pilot it first to see if there are any kinks that we need to work out and learn from the pilot phase before we do the full system rollout. Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. And alluding to what Ms. Harrigan would have said, congratulations for the implementation and the rollout. As many may not know, I'm Ashon Hodge from the Ministry of Finance. And I was wondering, after the second phase of implementation, as you alluded to, when would it be released to the high schools?
Yeah, we're going to try our best to release to secondary schools soon after we finish the full rollout at primary. I can't put a timeline on the rollout at secondary. There are two components to secondary. The program will fit nicely with Forms 1 and 2, as was mentioned. It can support Forms 3 to 5 as well, but we need some additional curriculum development work for Forms 3 to 5. So our hope is to have the program throughout the secondary system. We're going to meet later this month to look at the curriculum components that will be developed for Forms 3 to 5 and how this program supports that as well. But our hope is to start the rollout, at least complete the rollout for Forms 1 and 2 before the end of the academic year. Okay.
Good afternoon, Niamke Brooks from Radio Anguilla. I was wondering, with the financial literacy course, how will it be tested? Will it be just if students want to pursue it, or will it be actually tested by any regional body?
You're asking if there's an examination that they sit? No, it's not. There's no examination that they sit. But Chastity can really answer because they have some quizzes in the program that will help to determine where the children are when they answer the questions. Chastity, I don't know if you want to come in on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for passing it over to me. Yes, so there's not essentially there's not a test, although our curriculum is built on the standards of Jumpstart and the Council for Economic Education. So once the curriculum is complete, they will have completed those courseworks that show that they are financially competent and fully financially aware. Something I did want to mention for the high school learners is, although we do have 3 broken down curriculum depending on grade level, we always suggest to start at the middle level and test your class. See how the students are responding to it. See how their foundation is. If the foundation is not firm, then go to the beginnings. We find in many of our high schools across the United States, they start at the very basic K through 3rd grade level, because it's not something that we speak about often. It's not developed into mainstream curriculum. And with that being said, it's important that they understand the very fundamentals of money concepts before moving forward.
Jenny, so good afternoon. Jenny Fleming from the Anguillian. I have one question. Would there be offline access in the event that there is no Wi-Fi or internet?
Good question. So both of them are web-based, but the teacher portal, the teacher hub, is something that does not have to be accessible through the school. It can be accessible outside of it. And we do encourage, as it's meant to be used 2 minutes per day, we do encourage to print by the month so teachers can have everything that they need that is forward thinking throughout that month. So hopefully if it's done ahead of time, you'll have the month's worth of materials with the teacher guide as well. So you can have your curriculum laid out and not have to think about it. Really, this is meant to alleviate your burdens as teachers, and with a tight schedule, this is meant to be something that is pre-packaged. You do not have to think about and prepare well in advance to avoid any internet mishaps or last minute changes that often happen, as teachers know.
I think the program is really meant to be as bite-sized and digestible as possible. The idea isn't to overwhelm our educators with more coursework pushing onto our students, but to engage them in financial literacy in a way that's fun and in a way that feels like something that they can look forward to. So that's really the focus of the program. If we were offering a financial literacy course that was something that persons get tested on or examined, I think there'd be a very different feel to this type of program. And we wanted to avoid that feel just so that we know that it's something that people can look forward to, because we want students to look forward to learning about money. We don't want them to develop any negative attitudes towards financial literacy. So that's the reason why this program is developed the way it is. So, yeah.
And just to add a little bit to the question that was raised as it pertains to connectivity, we did have discussions with the My First Nest Egg team very early on into our engagement. And we wanted to make sure that this was a program that could be delivered through the web, as was mentioned, because the initial prototype that the My First Nest Egg had as a team, given the fact that they are located in the US and the ease of mobility and logistics, they were actually shipping entire printed curriculums to the various educators across the regions that they serve, where this is supported by credit unions and community banks, where they are located and across the contiguous states. For us, we said, that would be a difficulty for us. It would be a challenge. And we wanted to make sure that this could be accessed by the teachers easily. So yes, it is web-based. Yes, they would need the internet, but it's not, as Chastity indicated, it's not restricted to being used inside the classroom. The teachers have access to the hub around the clock, which means that the teacher can be empowering themselves and their own children in their family, their region. They can be using it to support any after-school programs that they may have in place. It can be used to support math, science, all of these different areas. So we are really excited about what is being offered and how it's being delivered. I know the Q&A session might come to a wrap soon. I just wanted to mention one thing that was pointed out by Mrs. Carty in the professional development session that we had on the 23rd of October, where we had a little bit more time to engage with the educators in the room. And while Nicole was going through some of the presentation, we were actually using some of the financial terminology like liens and credit scores, etc. We were talking about these things, and she actually referenced the fact that, you know, some of the language seemed a little bit heavy. We want to ensure that students, as they're coming through the system, the education system, as they're coming through the ranks, they're exposed to all of these terms. And what I shared with the teachers and the officers in the session that day is that these terms may seem a little bit heavy or technical or complex, but legislation is being passed every single day, every month, every year, and these types of details and information is necessary for the general populace to be aware of. The ECCB recently passed legislation that is in effect in all 8 of their jurisdictions with respect to a credit bureau. So within a short time, by the end of March 2025, all 8 countries in the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union will have to be reporting to the ECCB's credit bureau. So right now, we may say, oh, credit scoring, that is something that is only known and used in the US or in Canada or in the UK. But this is coming to our region and it's coming very quickly. Anguilla will be onboarded in March, by the end of March. So we will be providing information to our members. And in this model, our very youngest of our population will be aware about what are liens, how they're used to secure loans. What is it about credit scoring that we need to be aware of? We need to understand that the higher our score, the better chance we get for getting good loans at good rates, etc. So all of this is going to be not only for the student, it will be for the teachers and it will be for the parents who will be exposed as well.
If I may, I'd like to add to that. As Vanessa said, it really truly is meant for parents as well. I always say it's meant for parents. I left my career as an American Sign Language interpreter. I was part of the beta test with Nicole and Annie and have my own children. And I saw the difference with my older child. I did not have the background and money knowledge to be able to communicate and teach him the proper ways of speaking the language of money. I come from deaf parents, so the ASL community was my community, and it's a very taboo topic in that community. They do not speak about money at all. It's considered rude. So I grew up not knowing a lot of money language, the liens. I had no idea, and I was doing a disservice to my own my children by not knowing. So I left my career, and I can gladly say my 7-year-old is a true entrepreneur. He has a pet business called Fetch Pet. He wants to sell baseball cards, and he's got 6 different businesses. And I said, well, Jackson, maybe just focus on a couple. But he has really embraced my first nest egg in the last 2 years that I've been here. And I saw it within my own family. You'll start to see it in your communities. And that's why I'm here. And I'm excited to meet all of you. I'm excited to grow with you, and for even you adults to grow with us and to realize this is a community effort, and it's beautiful. And Vanessa, I appreciate you speaking to that.
Congratulations to everyone. Like many persons say, I'm also very, very excited about this initiative, something I'm very passionate about as well. So super excited, and super excited for my kids and other kids I work with in the community and what it could possibly mean for all of us. So I was just curious, because I know it's a general program, it's been rolled out across the primary schools. How do you have any indicators that you're going to be using to measure the success or the impact of this program on the community? Do you have anything set? I know there will be an impact because we are going from not talking about financial literacy at all to starting to talk about it. But is there any other ways that you're going to be using to measure what you will consider success of this program?
We did a little bit, we spoke about that a little bit, but one of the things with the program is that we'll have the opportunity to get feedback with Chastity, with the team, roll out with the educators. And it's something that we're doing in a pilot format so that we can kind of address and understand, okay, well, what are we finding from these sessions with our students? And then in the full rollout stage, when we can understand more clearly what the picture is like across our students' understanding. Hope that helps. It's not really based on how the program is formatted, it's not necessarily, there's no assessment. So the assessment usually is used to understand, okay, well, you went from a level 0 to a level 3.
Is there going to be a way then to see, okay, it's supposed to be 2 minutes a day, that, okay, Morris Van der Poel Primary School, all the teachers at this school completed, did it daily during the month. Is there any way to track that kind of thing? And to actually see how many persons, because I know how hard it is to commit to something daily. I know. So I want to know, like, is there a way, that's of course, it doesn't matter, you can take some time to get through things because it's no rush, it's all of that kind of thing, but one teacher might do 2 lessons per month, while another might do 30, So I'm just curious if there are any ways built into the app to track that kind of measurement.
Okay, I will ask the team from NESEG to comment on any mechanisms that is built into the app. But our normal procedures and mechanisms for tracking teaching and learning will apply to this as well. For example, teachers will have to show it in their planning, which includes the frequency, the areas that are being covered, and the progression that is being made, and through the topics. And we can monitor it that way through observation and so forth, right? We have those mechanisms already in place for monitoring and evaluation that we will use. This is just one additional program to apply that to. But I'm not sure, I know in a number of the other platforms that we utilize in teaching and learning, they do have monitoring mechanisms built in. I am not sure if this one, but I'll leave that to the folks more familiar with it to tell us if they have monitoring mechanisms as well.
Thank you, Mr. Romney, and thank you for the question. This is the question that has been coming up a lot often as people have implemented this into their programs and through their school systems. Now that we have heard from feedback from school districts, from teachers, we would like something measurable. We do not currently have a mechanism for that. It's more grassroots, as was just stated. It's more within alignment with programming. However, we are looking into it, and that is something we will work alongside of you with, and we will eventually get some type of mechanism in. I know that some of our other partners, what they do through the financial institution is that they report back to the financial institution, say we've done a month's worth or we've done 2 months worth, and it's honor-based right now, and the institution will provide fun swag items like erasers, pencils, things of that nature to gift the class for their hard work, because that is a big part of our curriculum. Is the puzzled patented system is a system that teaches reward for work. You work towards something, delayed gratification, and you earn something. So that is something that is incorporated, but it's more of a grassroots base. So I'm not sure if Liberty would be of interest to do that, or if that's something that's possible. But some of our other partners do that for the time being until we do establish a mechanism.
So yes, thanks, Chastity. And we have discussed this with the ministry and the department as it pertains to the awards that would be given by Liberty. I know there's one thing that you didn't mention though, Chastity, because we can track whether our teachers are signing in and engaged. So that information can be given back to the Department of Education to know whether teachers are actually enrolled and using the program. So that is one degree of monitoring that is already in place. With respect to the use of the app in classroom, we had discussed with the ministry. This is something that has not yet been finalized, but we do have in our budget to allow for every classroom to have a dollar amount assigned that the students would be working towards, whether it is to completion of their activities or other things, where the teachers can then give awards, etc. That has a dollar value, but we are still finalizing with the ministry in terms of how that aspect will be rolled out to the various classrooms. Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Renika from the Anguilla Youth Business Foundation. I saw in the demo and mentioned that the demo is tailored toward youth age between the age of 3 and 13. And I just want to commend on that because the Anguilla Youth Business Foundation trains entrepreneurs, potential entrepreneurs, ages 18 to 35. So by the time they arrive at that age, they would have a foundation and a better relationship with financial literacy. So I want to commend, and on behalf of our council members who are here, Charmaine, Ms. Carter, and Mr. Romney, that we are thankful for this program because it helps lay the foundation for entrepreneurs to understand the importance of financial literacy, so that by the time they reach the youth age of 18 to 35 and it rolls over to us, we have they have the foundation, so our trainers and facilitators have an easier job in helping them understand how to execute it in their entrepreneurial businesses. So we thank you for that.
Thank you as well, and I too want to congratulate you all in terms of that initiative. I looked at it with such interest, and I was excited to see the appointments that have been made, etc. And we are certainly open to partnering in that avenue as well. I have worked with various department agencies, the Department of Youth and Culture, the Anguilla Development Board, the Get Set program. I really just love to see these types of initiatives that I know help to empower the community. And because I'm just, avid, when it comes to anything financial literacy and making sure our communities are empowered, I just love to see these various initiatives going. So I was super excited from the time the announcement came out. I sent it to marketing officer Isafia and said, we need to watch this space because this is also an area that we can support. The Anguilla National Youth Council, anything that is community-based, we really want to support and make sure that our community thrives, especially coming off of the heels of these various economic, recessions and such. The empowerment of entrepreneurs is critical to the economic success of any country.
Okay, I have another question. Well, more like a comment following on Shalicia's comment in terms of measuring initial impact. Something that can be considered, maybe you already have it in mind. With the pilot, you can do an initial awareness survey, just as a baseline, starting with the students in the pilot. And at the end of the pilot, you can do a recall survey. So it's in the form of a survey. It's not in the form of a test or exam to put that pressure and that they have to study. So it's just a general recall survey. So if it has been working, if the pilot worked as we intended to, and as I'm sure it will, you will see significant growth or progress when you test them at the end with just a recall survey. And the survey format, of course, it can be as creative and fun, mirroring the actual program. So that's one way to do like an easy measuring. Thank you.
Thanks for that suggestion. We'll definitely discuss that with the ministry and department, and we can take responsibility for that as well, because we know surveys can be sometimes costly too, so definitely.
How are parents/guardians involved in all of this?
I don't know if the minister or the chief education officer wants to answer first, because the rollout through the schools will be through the teachers to the parents. I don't know if one of you want to take it first, and then Chastity and myself can add in.
Okay. Well, part of the program, My First Nest Egg, includes a parent support component. So what we're hoping to achieve is to have our PTAs, our Parent Teachers Associations, involved and using the resources and sharing them among teachers from all the primary schools. I know we have pretty active PTAs at the primary school level, so we want to have them to share those resources and use them with their children after school. Sometimes persons are saying, oh, we don't have anything to do for our children to do. We can use them as an after-school resource or a way of connecting with your children because it's fun. For some parents, it might be new material as well, if we're being honest. So it's an opportunity for them to learn together, actually.
Hi, good afternoon.
Well said. I don't know if you want to add anything, Chastity, to that.
The at-home platform, it is an app. It's a chore and allowance app that is age appropriate and fun for kids, and it gives them the opportunity to be able to take accountability of their own chores, of their own doings, and then at the end of their completed puzzle chore chart, they can get rewarded, and through that it'll stem financial literacy dialogue between the parent, between the child. It creates opportunities to earn allowance or to work towards other things. It's completely adaptable and flexible. So my child currently has a puzzle piece that's only geared towards kindness. So if he helps out a neighbor, if he comes home and says that he helped his friend at school, then he gets to earn a puzzle piece for that. And the end reward is not financial. It's he's working towards a toy. So it's completely customizable and a great opportunity for children to learn that they work towards things and that they it teaches that delayed gratification. It brings financial concepts to the home, and we will also be providing Liberty with monthly handouts, fun activities that can either be used at home through the distribution process or within the schools as well. So there's lots of word searches, there's fun monthly topics such as the elf on a budget, and all of those are meant to be used at home or after school that works in parallel with the teacher program.
There's only one thing I wanted to add, which I don't think we've had the opportunity to see yet, which is that while this is a financial literacy program, there are components. Chastity alluded to it. That's why I remembered. So talking about things like kindness, what you do in your community, how you contribute to your community, all has a value. So there's a value attached to things that are not only financial. So you're not only developing and ingraining skills in terms of material wealth, but also wealth in terms of building your community. So I just wanted to point that out, Chastity.
Absolutely. Of course, it has a financial background and a financial focus, but this is really geared towards community doing what you can for your community. A lot of our materials is based on gratitude. Gratitude, research has proved that if you are more gratuitous, you have better money understanding. You will have healthier money habits. And that's because you don't have to buy something to feel better about yourself or to make your neighbor feel better about themselves. You can simply help them take groceries. And so we give a holistic approach that, yes, of course, talks about money concepts and how to be money savvy, but it's about the holistic person.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Zulika Fraser of Fraser Consulting. We are an accounting, bookkeeping, financial, and investment analysis firm here in Anguilla. And we also do our pro bono annual personal financial literacy, and we work with small and micro-sized businesses, education, and financial literacy here in Anguilla. I must say, just seeing this roll out is very, very exciting to have that conversation. What I usually say in my sessions is that we're never taught this thing in high school, in primary school level. We are not prepared to deal with the money of the jobs that we desire to have or even manage that, to be able to take it through our lifespan, understand what's that used for, how do we, our stages of earning, burning, and saving. We are not prepared for that. So thank you for starting off our young ones who will change the whole landscape of financial literacy and understanding here in Anguilla. Just wanted to share gratitude on the end, and that we who are in the space of talking about personal financial literacy at the adult level through our workshops really hope that both ends can meet in the middle at some point.
Thank you so much, Zulika. You know that's a passion of mine as well. And I appreciate the work that you have been doing in terms of your firm. And I know that you partner on some of the other work that you're doing. So we are more than happy to provide some resources that can also be utilized in your workshops.
Sure, and something I did not mention due to the brief demo, our curriculum, 6th grade and beyond, is meant for that next phase of life. Savings, investing, understanding retirement, not something that 6th graders tend to think about, but that's truly something that you work for at a young age to achieve your goals. And so that final curriculum that we have is really geared towards that and will help that middle ground.
So if we have no more questions, we will now have Rihanna from Liberty to announce the winner, the raffle winner, for My First Nest Egg.
Good afternoon, everyone. On October 23rd, the My First Nest Egg team, in partnership with Liberty, presented a demo during the professional development session. At this time, curriculum officers and educators present were encouraged to join the pilot program as early registrants. A random drawing was done by the My First Nest Egg team, and the winner is, a little drum roll please, Denise Warrington from the Valley Primary School. Upon receipt of Denise's email, the My First Nest Egg team will be awarding Denise with an Amazon gift card valued at $30 that will be matched by Liberty. In addition, Denise will be awarded 10 Liberty shares valued at $100 EC. Over the course of the next 2 semesters, we will have a random monthly drawing with the winner being selected by the My First Nest Egg team for all early adopters as our way of saying thanks to the educators for the role they play in the community. Each random winner will receive 100 EC, 100 EC in shares and an opportunity to be in the grand prize drawing, which will be done in July 2025 at the end of the school year, which is during Liberty's anniversary celebration. So just to make sure, 100 EC. Thank you.
And for the winner, if Carla or Susan can communicate this to Miss Denise Warrington, and they can reach out to Rihanna or provide the information to myself. Just wanted to say thanks to my team who are physically present. We have 2 of our team members. We do partner with the Department of Education in another way, because we have what we call a mentorship program coming out of the business finance section, and sometimes as early as 5th form, We have students who come in and they do internships with Liberty. We've had 15 students pass through that program. Several of them are now managers, supervisors, and team leads at Liberty. Rihanna Richardson is one of those. She's now our member services supervisor. And Tasia is also present. She is team lead in member services. And we have on our team one who is a former educator, Teacher Randolph, as you all will affectionately know him. He is also part of the Liberty team. So we are right in there in the fray with the ministry and the department, doing our part to bolster our community.
Thank you, Vanessa. And thank you, Rihanna. To bring the afternoon to a close, I will now invite the principal of the Adrian T. Primary School, Teacher Tiffany Thomas, to come and give the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is with great pleasure and sincere gratitude that I stand before you today to express our heartfelt thanks for making this launch of the My First Nest Egg Financial Literacy Program a resounding success. Please give a round of applause. First and foremost, I would like to thank our chairperson, Mistress Shanna Delaney, Curriculum Officer of Mathematics, for gracefully guiding us through today's proceedings. A special thank you to the talented students of the OKPS. They are not here with us, but thanks to them for rendering the national song. We are also grateful to Mr. Winston Duncan, the Curriculum Officer of Science, for leading us in prayer. Our deepest thanks to Mr. Bren Romney, our Chief Education Officer, for delivering such a warm and welcoming address. Your dedication to the advancement of education in our community is truly inspiring. We are also honored to have had remarks from two distinguished guests, Mistress Vanessa Connor, Managing Director of Liberty Credit Union, whose support for this program has been instrumental, and Ms. Deanne Kentish Rogers, Honorable Minister of Social Development and Education, who through her leadership has ensured that financial literacy will now be a part of our students' educational journey. We also extend our sincere appreciation to the My First Nest Egg team, Ms. Chastity, and its co-founders for their informative demonstration of the platform. Thank you for showcasing the incredible resources available to both teachers and students, and for your commitment to equipping the next generation with the tools they need to succeed financially. We would also like to thank the press, including Radio Anguilla, KCN, Clean Stream in Anguilla, and the Anguillian for covering today's event and helping spread the word about this important initiative. We also want to recognize Titanium Sound for their audio-visual support, Confetti Dust Studio for the deco, and the Department of Education staff and maintenance team for the setup and arrangement today. Finally, thank you to everyone who attended today's event. Whether it's online or in person, your presence and support means a great deal to us. In closing, the My First Nest Egg program marks an exciting step forward in empowering our students with the financial knowledge they need to succeed. We are excited for the journey ahead and grateful to all who are part of it. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Teacher Tiffany.
Thank you.
We have now officially had our launch for My First Nest Egg. And I thank you all for coming. Have a great afternoon. Thank you. Thank you.